Hi guys, today I have an amazing treat for you guys. We're gonna be looking at amazing voicings on the piano based on modal harmony. So hi guys, today I will talk a little bit about harmony and some of the things that I've learned over the years about harmony. So harmony, usually you think about two separate things. You think about harmony, okay, the chords, and then you think about melody. And those are separate things. You play something with the left hand, for example, and then with the right hand you play melodies, or vice versa, you can mix it around, but usually you still separate the two. Now, something very important I learned when I was studying music was that you can start thinking about harmony in terms of modes. What that means is the usual stack of notes that you take, the usual scales that you take to create your melodies, you can use them as construction blocks for harmony. That was a big revelation to me. So basically, if you take your C major, for example, here, and you use that for harmony, that gives you entirely new building blocks for making your own chords, making new colors, making all kinds of combinations. So you're not stuck to the thinking, okay, I have C major here, and I will add things to that. You know, I will add a 9, or I will add a 6, or I will add a sharp 11 there. You're not stuck to that mindset, but you're always creating new kinds of chord combinations from these white keys. So you can create all sorts of colors. Let's try creating a chord. Okay, I will take C here, for example. I will add A, D, G. Okay, that's a really great color. It's like a 6/9 chord without the third. Sounds very jazzy and very airy and somehow serene. Let's take the same shape. Let's take the fourth shape. Okay, and I can create all sorts of things with this. With maybe avoiding the F over there, unless I want to mix up the function there. Down low here as well. Quite modal in sound, because usually the C major avoids the F in the scale. So let me try to create a little melody with some chords in there. So there was just a little example of what you can do. You can create any chord shape you want. Really exotic chords. I had one there that included the major 7, the tonic, the 9, and the 6. Really beautiful sound. And the great thing about thinking about these chords deriving from modes and scales is that you're not limited to your familiar shapes that you've learned, but you're only limited by the current colors or the modes that you're working with. So one thing to think about when you're playing these sorts of modal chords is that what are the notes that automatically fit together with the rest of the notes, and what notes are so-called avoid notes, or such notes that you have to be a little bit careful about how to voice them. For example, in the C major scale, the Ionian, the avoid note is F, so that's the one note that you need to be wary about, especially when you're trying out new kinds of chord shapes. So just think about how it sounds. But even F can be included here. You can create all kinds of add 4 voicings. For example, let's take the C, right? I think this sounds quite beautiful. It includes the sus4, and it includes the 3rd in the same time. So this is kind of like a non-orthodox add 4 or add 11 type voicing. But it still sounds beautiful, and the trick is not to include the E in the lower octave, but only include it in the same octave as the 11. So, so that's the trick there. Make it sound beautiful. Another idea is to take these sort of dominant superimpositions where you add a dominant chord shape to the tonic. So that's a really awesome way of creating new kinds of colors. You can do it with the C type of chord shapes. Add a G on top of it. You could do it with the C minor, kind of like a minor 11 sound created, or a minor 9 sound. You could do it with a minor major 7. So there are many chords that you could superimpose the dominant on top of the tonic, which is kind of like an advanced concept, but it really opens up in the modal harmonic thinking. So I hope that was helpful, and I'll play something for you in the end here as well. And if you liked the video, please subscribe once again and like the video, and comment below on what you think about this modal way of thinking about harmony. Okay, see you in the next video. Bye bye.